With Thanksgiving just days away, air travel in Indiana is getting busy and a little complicated. Thanks for joining us. I'm Charlie Herman.
And I'm Natalie Call. Despite that week's long government shutdown that just ended November 12th, AAA says more than 6 million Americans are still choosing to fly for Thanksgiving. That's up about 2% from last year.
Yeah, the FAA lifted all restrictions on commercial flights and let airlines go back to normal schedules starting Monday at 6 a.m.
But even with that green light, AAA expects more people to hit the roads this year instead of the skies.
Our Roma Ihirg is standing by for what this means for Hoosiers flying out of Indianapolis. Hey Roma, what can you tell us?
That's right, I'm here at Indianapolis International Airport, and as Thanksgiving week arises and the government shutdown impacts flights, travelers are wondering, will their flight take off? Thanksgiving week is one of the busiest travel periods of the year. Nationwide, TSA expects holiday traffic to break records, with millions of passengers flying this week. And this year, that rush comes right after weeks of uncertainty caused by the federal government shutdown. Since the shutdown began, more than 3.2 million U.S. airline passengers have been affected by the delays and cancellations.
We were a little bit stressed and anxious and weren't certain what to expect at the airport. So we got to the airport a little bit early, but we were wondering if we were going to be there for 4 hours or who knew what. Just doesn't seem necessary, nor is it fun.
And it's not just travelers feeling the strain.
I was more worried about with some of my colleagues who weren't getting paid while they were expected to still come to work. And our job sometimes can be extremely stressful. To see them have to still come in those conditions can sometimes be tough.
And with wait times and frustrations rising, he says one thing helps the most.
I've seen a lot of organizations, a lot of groups that the airport specifically stepped up to assist those who were in need during these times. So I am very proud to see us help each other.
Students heading home are encouraged to plan ahead. Arrive at least 2 hours before your flight and check your flight status with the airline before leaving. All domestic travelers must have a real ID. And at security, your shoes stay on. Remember to follow the liquids rule and pack smart. So as Thanksgiving break approaches and you're traveling home for the holidays, make sure you remember those tips to ensure you're ready if your flight is delayed. At Indianapolis Airport, I'm Roma Ihirg. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Roma. And here on campus, travel plans are already underway. Our Lyla Surane is standing by to tell us how IU students are getting home for the holidays. Hey, Lyla.
Thanks, guys. IU students are gearing up to head home for Thanksgiving break, and even though most flights are back to normal after the shutdown, several people told me they still have hesitation about flying. In fact, AAA expects more people to hit the roads this year instead of the skies. Here's what the students told me.
With Thanksgiving just around the corner, IU students are traveling back home for the holiday. Students who have to fly back home for the holidays, however, have some concerns about air travel.
Be able to see my family, if it gets canceled, then I have no way to get home, obviously. So I'm just hoping that everything's good by next week.
Although the government shutdown is technically over, officials say airlines may take time before resuming to normal operations. Many students, especially out of state, are concerned about their holiday travel plans and whether or not their flights will get canceled.
I'm honestly just worried about my flight getting canceled. I've been seeing so many around TikTok and just friends and family, honestly, who've been getting canceled, so I don't really have another way of getting home, so I just hope it stays on schedule.
For this student, she plans to rely on other family members to help get her home in the event her flight doesn't stay on schedule.
My aunt is in St. Louis, so I guess my backup is just having her drive out to me, but besides that, I don't really have any other method of getting home.
While the shutdown was in place, airlines were instructed to reduce flights up to 10%, affecting passengers all across the country. Thousands of passengers experienced flight delays and cancellations, leading them to opt for other means of transportation.
We're both from New Jersey, so it's a 12-hour drive and a 2-hour flight.
By the end of this week, officials say flights should be back to normal schedules and travel shouldn't be any more busy than it typically is around this time of year, leaving students hopeful that getting home to their families will be a breeze.
If you are heading to the airport this week, there is an airport shuttle on campus. It runs 7 days a week and rides start at 30